Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing until the colors have left the floor. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Today's color guard is presented by La Cueva High School Junior ROTC. They are Cadet Private First Class Hughes, Cadet Lance Corporal Fournier, Cadet Staff Sergeant Reichfield. They are commanded by Cadet Chandler. Our national anthem will be sung today by La Cueva High School Concert Choir under the direction of Kathleen Green.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets, red flare bombs bursting, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Graduates, please remain standing. Graduates, please be seated. Good afternoon, parents and guests. Welcome to the 2019 La Cueva High School Graduation Commencement Ceremony. I am Addison Portman, your senior class president and mistress of ceremonies for this evening. Joining me on stage are valedictorians Anita Sumali, John H. Tran, and Jared Zhang, your salutatorian Brad Zhang, and the 2019 senior class officers Julia Avery and Hannah Grenemeyer, along with our La Cueva administrative team, which consists of La Cueva High School Principal, Ms. Dana Lee, Assistant Principal, Mr. Brett Reimer, Assistant Principal, Mr. Brian Hubble, Dean of Students, Mrs. Ashley Keelbarth, Dean of Students, Ms. Lee Arnett, Athletic Director, Ms. Leanne Moores, and Activities Director, Ms. Lacey Metzger. We are also pleased to have joining us on stage today, President of the School Board, Dr. David Piercy, Board Member, Candelaria Patterson, APS Superintendent, Raquel Reedy, and Associate Superintendent of APS Zone 4, Troy Hughes. Thank you also to the La Cueva counseling team sitting just off the stage, Mrs. Megan Goodman, Mrs. Angela Hawes, Ms. Justine Garcia, Mrs. Deanna Romero, Mr. Mike Riley, Mr. Gillian Gordon, and Mrs. Jasmine Metzger. Please give all of our guests a round of applause as we are very honored to have them here as part of our ceremony. Please also give a round of applause for our teachers working here tonight and those leading us through our graduation. Emily Klaus, Alan Spencer, Lansing Freeman, Lena Eddings, Kimberly Cannell, John Bryant, Richard Faulkner, Mary Robinson, and Amy Ray.
Thank you. Now I would like to welcome to the stage our salutatorian, Brad Zhang.
So apparently, what letter your last name begins with indicates how much time it takes to write your graduation speech, because Jared and I both turned in our graduation speech several hours late. And yes, we're the same person. Thanks, Sanchez. Anyway, hi everyone. I think you all know who I am, but if you don't, I'm a just graduated La Cueva alumnus like everyone else here. Honestly, the only difference between you and me is that I was just a tad bit better at reading SparkNotes and watching Crash Course videos at 2 times speed. It's graduation day, a time with mixed emotions, so to let y'all know how I feel right now, I'd like to start with a quote from a fellow violinist and an anime character. We're all afraid, you know, to get up on stage. Maybe you'll mess up. Maybe they'll totally reject you. Even so, you grit your teeth and get up on stage anyway. Yes, I'm scared out of my mind right now, and I want to hide, but there's no place to hide. More importantly, we all have our own stage, our own dreams. We'll be afraid of being judged by others, temporarily abandoning our dreams in fear. But the opinion that matters most is yours. Others might influence the shape of your stage, but you are the director, conductor, soloist. You are in control. My boy, Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, once said, "AirPods are the most valuable investment you can make." Wait, sorry, that's the wrong quote. Dumbledore once said, "It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live." Of course, the lamest cause of death is that someone forgot they were alive, and I hope none of you die that way, if you even can. But don't dwell on your dreams. Make your dreams a reality. Live your dream in a way that makes yourself proud. Seriously, live like Thanos. But we're not Thanos. We can't turn back time, and we can't solve our problems with a single snap. So, the only thing we can do is do it right the first time. Take actions that won't leave any regrets behind. And as we move on to greater things, remember that as the graduating class of 2019, we are inevitable. I wish you all luck in your future endeavors. If you need luck, but you'll have something better, brains. Cheers, DFTBA, and remember, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
At this time, I am pleased to introduce your co-valedictorian, Anita Sumali.
Thank you so much, Brad and Hannah. You guys are amazing. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anita Sumali, and I'm honored to be representing the talented, incredible class of 2019. I think most of us are familiar with the iconic high school environment. Narrow hallways, lined with lockers, and full of students who fit general high school stereotypes. You have your mean girls, jocks, band geeks, and nerds. 4 years ago, when we first entered high school, I think we all thought to an extent that we needed to fit into one of these stereotypes, or we at least had an idea of who we wanted to be. Now, high school is over, but we still have most of our lives ahead of us, and one thing I've learned is that stereotypes should be challenged. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be smart as a jock, or that you can't be athletic as a band geek. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be popular if you're smart, because Brad, our salutatorian, already proved that's possible when he became our prom king. Can we please have a round of applause for Brad? My mother is a former Olympic swimmer. So who would have guessed that I would be standing up here as valedictorian, arguably the exact opposite of an Olympic athlete? One thing I've learned from having family members with such different interests and strengths than me is that as long as you have passion, determination, and drive, anything is possible. So, as we begin new chapters of our lives today, I challenge each and every one of you to be more than what's expected of you. Be ambitious but compassionate. Be intelligent but insightful beyond academics. Be successful but virtuous. As Hindu teacher Swami Sivananda once said, put your heart, mind, and soul into all of your smallest acts. This is the secret of success. Thank you all so much, and congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Anita. Now I would like to introduce our co-valedictorian, John Tran.
Good afternoon, graduates, parents, and teachers. I want to take a moment to thank all of the teachers for the time and dedication that they have devoted to all of us here today. Thank you to my friends and peers that stuck with me to the end, enjoying every second we spent studying and having fun together. And finally, a special thank you to my family, my cousins and aunts, and my grandma for flying over here to be here today, and especially my sister, my mom and dad, and my uncle for pushing me to be the very best that I can be. All of you have fostered a deep fervor to challenge myself while being there when I needed it the most, and it's comforting to know that I'll have your support wherever I go and a place where I can always call home. First, I am deeply humbled for getting the chance to speak to you, the class of 2019, on this eventful day. La Cueva will always have a special place in my heart, and when I joined the preschool program at La Cueva when I was a little kid, I remember bawling my eyes out during the first day. That was the first time I was alone, and I felt like I was alone at that time. But however, I will never forget the capricious yet joyous times I had back then, eating fried potatoes in the shape of a smiley face during lunchtime. And here I am, at the brink of crying again, but at this time, leaving La Cueva behind. Ironic, isn't it? La Cueva has always been home to me, and I hope you all share the same sentiment with me. All of you have grown and changed over the last few years since our initial encounter, and I know we will all continue to do so in the upcoming years. And as I continue to write this speech, the soothing patter of the rain outside my window reminded me of the quiet yet joyous times we had together. To be honest, that was enough for me. Thinking to the snow we had this past winter, blanketing our neighborhood with a white velvet, a sight we haven't seen for ages. And the longest government shutdown we have experienced in American history, and tells us that sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to. And that shouldn't dishearten us, as we have an opportunity to create lasting changes for future generations to build upon and cherish. And the first picture of the black hole we got to see, and of the many things yet to be discovered under the marvelous sky of ours. Each and every one of you has the ability to make the world a better place. Whatever we decide to do, we should always try to help the people around us. And as Mr. Freeman says, the least we can do is to look out for each one another. This world will always be filled with injustices. And unfortunately, that's the way society works. So if you have time to give up or hold a grudge against that injustice, use that time to enjoy battling those injustices instead. If you don't gain anything from the obstacles you face, at least you will become a better person as a result. I will always treasure the memories we had together, no matter how brief they seem to be. I hope you all continue to fight on, no matter how grim it may look at times. Lastly, remember that it doesn't have to end here. Whether there are aches in your heart that won't go away, or an urge to cry on the things sorely missed, it's fine to feel like that. It's what makes us human. If you ever find yourself lost, I've got one last thing to say. Never forget who you want to be and the kind of person you want to become. If anything, trust your guts and enjoy the life around you. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2019.
Let's give one more round of applause to John Tran. Now I would like to introduce your last co-valedictorian, Jared Jang.
Dear teachers, parents, friends, and fellow graduates, thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Today is a special turning point in all of our lives, and I would like to quickly thank some people for being part of my journey. First, I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and my brother Roland. Special shout out to my mother for everything she has done for me these last 18 years. There are no words that can describe how important you are to me, and I am forever grateful. Next, cheers to my capstone and debate families. You've all been a megalith of a support for me throughout high school, and I love you all. Lastly, thank you to the Bestial Bills, Holden, Alex, Jason, and Kylie for being my closest and most trusted friends. It's on special occasions like today that we tend to sit back, yawn, and listen to boring speeches like this one. But we also tend to reminisce. We think back about our times at La Cueva, the good ones, the bad ones, our successes and our failures. Today I want to talk about the latter. High school has shown me that failure is inevitable, and it happens to everyone, especially to Mr. Freeman at the gym. If failure is inevitable, that must also mean that perfection is forever unattainable. And in my opinion, both these statements are true. But as my amazing calc teacher, Ms. Cannell, taught me, there exist asymptotes, lines that get infinitely close to each other. I like to imagine an asymptote of perfection, something we can never reach, but we can always ceaselessly strive towards. And the fact that we are graduating today is proof that we are already striving towards this asymptote. It's proof that the seeds for success have already been planted within us. I guess the question is, will we nurture these seeds to produce tomorrow's dreams, or will we get sued by Monsanto? Today we reminisce about the past. We look at our last 4 years and think about all the things that we've accomplished and the things we could have done better. But after today, I think it's time for us to look forwards towards the future. We should look at the future without regret. After all, we can't change what's already happened. And when I look towards our future, it's brighter than any class before it. In the words of Malcolm X, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And if these last 4 years have shown me anything, I know that the future belongs to us. So let's full send it, class of 2019. Thank you, and of course, cheers.
Let's give one more round of applause to our valedictorians and salutatorian. At this time, would the seniors in choir please come forward? On behalf of the graduates, the choir would like to thank the family, friends, and educators who have always been there for us. Please welcome our La Cueva Concert Choir for their presentation of Underneath the Stars, directed by Kathleen Green.
It is now time for the class of 2019 to receive their diplomas. It is the request of the La Cueva High School administration that we honor each and every graduate by holding applause until the end. Many friends and family members have traveled far to honor their graduates. I would like to present the class of 2019. They have met all the graduation requirements set forth by the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education, along with the New Mexico Public Education Department. To you, Dr. David Piercy and the school board, I present the class of 2019.
Hello, class of 2019. You know, it's our honor from the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education to accept this great 2019 graduation class from La Cueva High School. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Quinn I. Abate. Rebecca L. Abeta. Ashanti A. Adam. Jonah Adams. Jewel V. Earhart. Brick J. Albach. Saad Alim. Miriam Sophie Josephine Lynn Allred. Alexander J. Alunde. Lane Christopher Manuel Aragon. Shawnee K. Ausman. Phoenix J. Autry. Julia G. Avery. Nafiga F. Awad. Aspen N. Babnick. Jensen R. Baca. Jordan N. Bachman. Zainab M. Bahadirli. Nicholas A. Baker. Isabella B. Barnett Green. Scott Bass. Kyland T. Begay. Louis A. Bercier. Spencer R. Bergamo. Grace Bernhardt. Trinity A. Berry. Alexander B. Bethel. Katie L. Bingham. Chase Blackwood. Cooper J. Blair.
Cameron Bolkin. Tyler Scott Boren. Cameron L. Bowers. Martin Brandt. Lorelei R. Brightfeld. Sarah Brightwell. James Brining. Adam H. Britton. Parker A. Brocius. Jack J. Brown. Pierce Buck. Annie Bowie. Lawrence Bussey V. Jamie Butekoffer. David C. DeBaca. Carson N. Calvert. Kate A. Calvert. Mason Calvert. Alyssa Noel Capuano. Sebastian Carbajal. Alyssa Cardiff. Roger R. Carmen, Jr. Michelle Maria Casanova. Zion M. Castillo. Madison N. Cervantes. Rohit R. Chalamala. Lauren E. Chang. Charles Chow. Antonio J. Chavez. Brooke Chavez.
Marcos A. Chavez. Kale C. Chavez Kerr. Akshay Chalapa. Brandon Chen. Cheyenne Chischili. Brett Phil Clark. Megan N. Clark. Ruth Catherine Clark. Michael A. Cole. Benjamin J. Corey. Elliot W. Cortazzi. Tony M. Covino. Zoe Kraft. Trinity M. Couch. Amin Dejani. Austin T. Denton. Sarah J. Dukovsky. Nathan V. Dow. Cherie Davis. Cody Davis. Taylor A. Davis. Alexander James Dettendale. Simi Dhaliwal. Jack T. Dillon. Connor Dix. Vincent R. Domina. Marcelo Dominguez. Benjamin G. Doty. Madison N. Driscoll. Julia R. Dubois.
Sean Eckert. Hannah J. Duffy. Lilburn L. Dukes. Ellen N. Duong. Carissa R. Eames. Jacob Everett Eanes. Bryn E. Elson. Tyler M. Erickson. Caitlin E. Esplin. Ariana E. N. Estrada. Madison R. Estrada. Zachary K. Fitch. Isabella Ford. Karina E. Ford. Sean M. Ford. Ryan G. Fotillo. Morgan J. Fortin. Jaden E. Fox. Daniel A. Fuentes. Giovanni S. Gabaldon. Karin N. Gallegos. Jack S. Gallegos. Alexis R. Garcia. Elena M. Garcia. Zachary B. Garcia. Haley C. Gardy. Eve Gardenschwartz. Audrey M. Gates. Charlotte E. Gates.
Eric A. Givens. Connor Gates. Kelsey Gates. Preston Gatewood. Qasim Galba. David Gibson. Forrest Gilalen. Irfan Galani. Garrett Goleller. Cassandra Gregos. Hannah Grenemeyer. Sabina Griebel. Hannah Grunwald. Adam Gutierrez. Grant Guttrumson. Jade Regina Hagens. Troy William Harbaugh. Hannah Delaney Harlow. Jennifer W. Harned. Daniel B. Herod. Sedona B. Hart. Rachel Y. Hathoot. Jacob Scott Hayden. Caleb Hella. Shane Henry. Antonio Herrera. Michaela Rain Herrera. Nadala Hesh. Jack Walker Hoagland. Jeremiah Holland.
Paris S. Hollingshead. Savannah W. Holmes. Razine K. Hossein. Ethan J. Hudgens. Brandon R. Hunt. Ilhamadine Husseini. Nathaniel B. Hutchinson. Joshua S. Huang. Caroline H. Jamharian. Harry G. Jamharian. Mia O. Jaramillo. Christopher T. Jarek. Samin F. Jawadi. Hannah G. Jensen. Natalie C. Jones. Nicholas B. Jones. Damian H. Jordan. Thomas M. Judkins. Alexandra Kaminsky. Jared L. Kane. Anum S. Kassam. Julia G. Kim. Jacob R. Knighton. Stephen S. Koss. Vanessa N. Krajek. Destiny A. Kuhn. Emma J. Kunzler. Callista A. Kunzler. Madison N. Lacey.
Haley M. Lalonde. Jacob E. Lamana. Adam A. Lambert. Daniel J. Listine. Austin Stephen Lee Lavin. Julian J. Lee. Stephen I. Lee. Rebecca E. Leichner. Maggie R. Bachicha Liston. Jihao Liu. Alexandria M. Lloydel. Emma G. Long. Jalen S. Lopez. Naya Lopez. Serena Rose Lopez Macinus. Runki Liu.
Hudson Thomas Luker. Isaac P. Luna. Madison T. Lund. Rebecca Faith Luton. Joseph S. Lutz. Robert M. Lutz. Jason Michael Lyons. Joanna Macklin. Fred Musa Mady III. Jordan Ann Mays. Paris Anissa Mahan. Dylan William Mahan. Ryan Alexander Malone. Sarah Marie Mann. Diana Rose Manzanares. Samantha E. Martin. Drew Bailey Martinez. Michael Christopher Martinez. Thomas Robert Martinez. William Cash Martinez. Marissa Renee Matthias. Questin Matthew Maurer. Brian P. Mayers. Cameron Conrad Mayo. Robert M. McCourt. Grayson McDonald. David D.J. McDowell. Blake Milne McGee. Ryan M. McGuire.
Margaret Daisy Mee. Tina Memarian. Joshua Mendoza. Lance Von Kendrick Milford. Mariel Milligan. Najoni Pony Milton. Joey Mock. Ava Ray Molina. Brianna Montoya. Nathaniel Montoya. Adeline Bett Moore. Ryan Lynn Moreland. Tyler E. Morgan. Brianna Carey Mortensen. Terry Alexandra Morton. Holden Nathaniel Mueller. Cecilia Michelle Munoz. Madeline M. Murphy. Anam Z. Nadim. Farnash Naimi. Han B. Nguyen. Nak D. Nguyen. Niles H. Nguyen. Ellen A. O'Brien. Lauren Faith O'Brien. Abigail Lynn Opperman. Isaiah Gabriel Ortega. Adan Luis Ortega Garcia. Starla Marie Osterman. Debbie K. Oyentumba. And Kristen Pacheco.
Caitlin Reed Pacheco. Sophia E. Palacios. Justin J. Pox. Sean M. Pox. Sungmin Park. Ayushi P. Patel. Nicole Patrizzi. Ethan A. Pearson. Aaliyah A. Pedersen. Sergio Pena. Brendan Pepin. Pepe Barasa. Brianna Alexis Perry. Evan Thomas Pfeiffer. Kevin M. Fawn. Dominic T. Pimentel. Rose K. Pinetta. Jacob A. Perkel. Neasley A. Piacena. Katrina A. Poindexter. Victoria R. Pompeo. Addison K. Portman. Davis M. Pratt. Tyler D. Pizel. Andrea Quintana. Elijah X. Quintana. James A. Quintana. Alex Quintana. Neha Rajput. Thurindu Ranasinger.
Yasmin Rashid. Isabel Sophia Rawson. I can't do. Morgan Claire Reasonover. Joseph R. Redmond. Benjamin Matthew Daniel Reed. Megan Grace Remington. Jocelyn Ellen Repehosky. John Albert Richardson. Hannah Lee Rivera. Madeline Leslie Rivera. Abbas W. Rizvi. Awesome W. Rizvi. Sahar Rizvi. John Roberts. Haley Rain Robinson. Taylor Jaden Robles. Cade Christopher Rocket. Allison E. Rodas. Christian James Rodriguez. Liliana Rodriguez. Taryn Jessica Rowe. Nicholas Carl Roseberg. Jacob Matthew Romero. Jenna Elise Roram. Noah S. Rose. Sophia Rose Salazar. Aditya V. Sambandam. Aaron Reed Sanchez. Brianna R. Sanchez. Kylie Madison Sanchez.
AJ Sandoval. Deja J. Sandoval. Joseph A. Sandoval. Ariana R. Santisteban. Kylie P. Sawaya. Mackenzie L. Shank. Eliza K. Schmidt. Gabriel S. Shaneman. Thomas B. Shoneman IV. Hannah B. Shum. Alicia L. Schwartz. John R. Scott. Caden W. Seary. Jillian R. Selwyn. Camila S. Sharp. Cedric J. Sierra. Jordan L. Sills. Angelo Simone. Kayla B. Singer. Kelsey P. Slayton. Bethany R. Smith. Blaine T. Smith. Chevy Smith. Dylan D. Smith. Caitlin R. Smith. Amanda T. Summer. Janine O. St. George. William H. A. Stewart. Tristan J. Stone. Andrew C. Stoughton.
Anita X. Somali. Dylan J. Summer. Jerry Sun. Brittany A. Supple. Jeffrey P. Suter. Israel A. Swanson. Madison L. Tevestowns. Shema Mahir Thabata. Vincent A. Thomas. Lily R. Thompson. Sitlali A. Tierney. John H. Tran. Teresa T. Tran. Truk Tran. Devin C. Trujillo. Diego J. Trujillo. Victoria Katrina Vasquez. Brian Vega. Adam A. Villani. Samuel J. Vigil. Emma L. Villas, Lluvia Azul Villescas, Corey R. Walker, Amanda T. Ward, Annika Warder, Autumn Weinberger, Reese A. Wiggins, Ryan J. Wolf, Jason Shung, Tegan S. Yan,
Lucy Yang, Malik Yusuf Arafat, Sang Weon Yu, Siri Yu, Shauna Zabel, Brad Zhang, Jared Zhang, Tristan Zimmer, and Shane Zotnick.
We're almost done, just a few more minutes. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to every person who has touched my life and helped me become the person you all see standing before you today. To my family, thank you for your constant love and support. To my friends, for being my village. And to all of my teachers for never letting me settle for good enough. To Mr. Sanchez and Ms. Soto, along with Ms. Cannell and Ms. Eddings, all of which was challenged me academically while teaching me valuable life lessons and skills. Lastly, thank you to Rose, Megan, Jenna, Julia, Hannah, Miss Lee, and of course Miss Metzger, who made it possible for all of us to have the best year ever. This speech has been taunting me for several weeks now, and I wasn't sure how to put the meaning of our class into words. That was until I realized none of us are ever on any journey alone. While I am the only one standing before you now, each and every one of you is shown through me. So, I ask the people who will always be on your journey, your parents and guardians, if they could give you one piece of advice going forward, what would it be? The messages I received included, you learn something from everything you do, trust in yourself, everything in your life depends on your actions, and my personal favorite, if you fail, it's not the end of the world. Try again, and you might succeed, or at least fail better. 4 short years ago, I would have thought these to be cliche, but now we have all learned in many ways, whether hard or easy, that the simplest ideas are the hardest to achieve. I can't tell you that there's a secret to surviving whatever comes next in your journey, because I don't believe there is one. What I can tell you is a message that has helped me push through the hardest parts of my life. And that message is to choose your own happiness. Happiness means something different to everyone, and that's okay. In fact, it's a good thing. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What I must do is all that concerns me, not what the people think." As we all move forward into our future endeavors, whatever that holds, I hope that each of you chooses your own happiness. to find positivity in your worst moments, to allow yourself not to be perfect, and especially to be true to your own values. Now, I would like to say a final thank you and congratulations. Thank you to La Cueva for 4 amazing years. Thank you for the memories, the lessons, the hard times, the early mornings and late nights. But most importantly, thank you for the laughs. I am beyond excited for every single person in this room. It wasn't always easy to get here, but we did it. Congratulations, class of 2019. Here's to our future.
Class of 2019, you are sitting here today because of a variety of factors. Family, friends, and teachers have guided your journey. Athletics activities and events have added depth to the experience, but personal choices have dictated the results. No matter how bumpy or smooth the road has been, you have reached your destination because you have persevered. You are ending one chapter and beginning another. And while high school is awesome, my hope is that everything that comes next is even more so. Often, graduating seniors will hear about the joys and challenges ahead. They will listen to speakers tell them they are equipped for whatever is to come and that the possibilities are endless. I love that your class motto is a quote from the last book Dr. Seuss wrote, "Oh, the places you'll go." You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. I sincerely hope that your years at La Cueva have given you the tools needed for the future. But instead of focusing on how La Cueva has prepared you, the class of 2019, for the world, I'd like to emphasize what the class of 2019 has done for La Cueva High School. It would not be an overstatement to claim that this class of seniors has been extraordinarily generous with their time, appreciative of their teachers and coaches, and kind to their peers. The class of 2019 has challenged historical traditions to set a new tone. They've gained national recognition for their inclusive spirit. They've taken every opportunity to demonstrate their bare pride while practicing humility and developing the habit of giving back. This improved climate of collaboration, celebration, and school and community spirit has been years in the making, but this senior class has been the common denominator. Change takes time, but change that takes time will endure. The class of 2019 is leaving a legacy of kindness behind, and we are a better school because of it. As we prepare to send you off, there are 2 things I'd like to emphasize. I apologize to the audience members here today who are not Twitter savvy, but Twitter speak is very much the language of La Cueva High School. Seniors, first and foremost, I am a #proud principal. Secondly, after 4 years, a couple of dozen final exams, and much success in the classroom, on the field, the stage, and the court, you are #finished. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Graduates, please stand. Together, we share our final moments as high school students as we move our tassels. Now, we, the graduates of the class of 2019, would like to show our appreciation with applause to our families, teachers, and friends whose love and support has made it possible for each and every one of us to be standing here today. My fellow graduates, congratulations, good luck in all that life has to offer you. Please remove your caps and your tassels. I'm struggling. I can't get it. Okay. We made it. You may now throw your caps. Is this yours? This concludes this La Cueva 2019 graduation ceremony. The La Cueva Band, directed by John Converse, will now recess the 2019 alumni of La Cueva High School.
Thank you.